Welcome to the 92nd episode of the Meeple Society, a podcast about board games hosted by two longtime role players turned avid board gamers. My name is Katie.
I'm Greg.
On this episode, we talk a bit about Gen Con and some plans to include you as we do some live recording. We tell you all about some of the games we've gotten played recently, and we wrap it up with fantastic creatures and transforming terrains in our first look at Wondrous Creatures. But first, Greg has a question to pose to the society.
But before we do that,
but first,
let's talk about the 100th episode coming up.
I cannot believe we are 8 episodes away from that.
Yes.
That is crazy.
In a way, it seems like we're doing what? But then another way, if you think about it, it's like going,
we've been
it's
doing
taking
this for
us
5
a while.
years.
Yeah, it's taking us a while to get to 100 episodes.
And ironically, wouldn't that... Okay, so 8 more episodes will be about 4 more months.
Mm-hmm.
This is July. August, September, October, November. Our first episode was in November of 2020. Wouldn't it be funny if it fell right at the 5-year mark? 100 episodes in 5 years.
Yep.
I just think that's
that
funny.
would be cool.
We need to figure out what we're doing.
we've
been special.
It's mostly been a podcast every 2 weeks.
Yeah, for the most part. For a
Therefore,
while,
I
it
was
was
doing
for a
one
month.
for every three weeks, I think it was.
And then we went to a month, and that was too long. And then we recorded once a month, but we released every 2 weeks. It was
it was weird. We were trying to balance everybody's schedules,
Yeah,
and Mark had the really weird schedule that we were mostly balancing around, which was fine. It worked.
His was the most oddball schedule.
Yeah, it worked, but it just got really chaotic for him, and that's why they had to step by.
Too much stressful, too much stress, too much too much pull on his time.
Yep, and sometimes you kind of miss having his little commentary on the side when we're talking about some of the games.
I do. I miss
both
having
of them put in a lot of cool information, and they talked about games that we didn't think about.
We don't play, yeah.
So it's you miss them not being here, but
maybe we can get them in on the 100th.
See if they come in for the 100th.
Yeah, I think
that's
that'd
what I
be
was saying.
fun.
That was one of the things I was going to say. Maybe we can get them to come in and sit in for the 100th episode since they were here from ground up. They were the first 2 that we thought of.
Yeah. Well, and I've talked Jessica into coming to Ladies' Night with me next month. So
that's good. Get her out of the house.
Well, she's going to. Mind you, I'm hosting, so it'll be here.
Yeah.
But it's a step.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I can broach the subject with her next month. Or I'll just message them both, whatever. I think it'll be fun.
Okay.
So, but anyway.
Second thing is, it being our 100th anniversary, I thought it'd be cool. I see
episode?
This 100th anniversry. Wow, we're really old.
Wow. I mean, no, actually, I don't want to live that long.
No. Our 100th episode coming up. I see this a lot. I thought it would be really cool too. If you are a listener and been a long-time listener, or even just now starting to listen and want to send us a little clip of a thank you or something that you liked about the show or the YouTube channel, whatever it is, just you can send us a message. Make it like an MP4 or MP3 file or a WAV file. And you can email that to us at meeplesociety@mail.com. And I will put that in the link below. I'll put it in the link and put it in as 100th episode clip link. You just click on that and you can email it through there. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, or they can just, if they want to just write it out, we can read them. But
that
works too.
Yeah. Email it either way.
Either way.
But so that's our 100th episode coming up. We are 8 away. Wow.
Yeah, it'll be sometime in November if nothing sidelines us again.
Bad thing is that it's taking us how long? It'll be about 5 years when we hit the 100.
Yeah.
Where are we at on the playing through our collection?
We are in the middle of the S's. We're on episode. We're starting to play episode 88. We've played a couple of them from episode.
How many years have we been doing?
3.5. It'll take 5 years by the time we're done. If I can keep you on track.
Me on track.
We haven't played anything in a week.
Okay, people.
Well, at least not
I have told her this many times. Now, am I in the right or am I in the wrong? I tell her on the days that I'm not cooking, because we have a switch off on cooking days here. All you have to do is get a game on the table and say, let's play a game. And she doesn't.
Okay.
I come home and she's editing. That's fine. It needs to be done. But there's no game. And then she blames me, and I'm the one that's off track.
Okay, okay.
This is the comment she tells me every time I tell her that too. So the blame doesn't go all on me. There are days I was like, I don't want to play anything today. I am so tired.
Okay.
But if you get a game on the table, I'm more likely to say, yeah, let's play a game.
Okay. I work from home Monday and Tuesday this week, so it'll be easy.
You work at home every Monday.
I know.
and sometimes Tuesdays, and there's never a game on the table.
No, there's never one on the table, but we do sometimes play.
Unless I pull one off the table the day before or that morning, nothing comes out.
Okay, I got to find the worst possible game from episode 88. What can we play? I'll find something.
Well, it's that much closer to getting that episode done. I know I have to play every one of those sometime ridiculous games.
There have been a lot of really surprising ones in there. We've actually found quite a few that we've
like,
really
what
liked.
was that? Junkyard something?
Space Junkyard.
Space Junkyard. Yeah, that was actually a really cool game. It reminded me a little bit of Galaxy Truckers.
Yes. We've had a few that have been that way. That Guillotine was another one that we were very surprised by.
And that one was even a lot more fun because Ben was playing it. Ben can take any game and just make it a very enjoyable.
Yes, Ben, that's just Ben's personality.
Yes.
He doesn't take anything seriously.
No.
So, at least not when it comes to gaming.
Life's too short to
when it comes
seriously.
to gaming, it's not, Okay. Yeah, the worst pain I've ever been in is playing in one of his games, in RPGing in one of his games after surgery. That was the biggest mistake I think I've ever made.
Yeah, because when he DMs, he's the dungeon master or the game master or whatever. He puts voices with each one of his non-playing characters.
It wasn't even the voices; it was just the conversation and the way he was doing it. It was just you couldn't stop laughing.
Well, at one point he was having a conversation with himself with different ones of his non-playing characters. With that's a great segment, you know.
It is. See, I led you into this gorgeous segue,
but I had to recap.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So if you have a wave or a message you want to send us, email it to us either by audio or a letter.
Yeah.
Of what I would like to say.
Or you can even do video and we can pull the stuff from it but then your mug will be on the YouTube
channel
video.
Part of the podcast, yes.
But if you're okay with that, I'm okay with that.
Yep. Anyway, so that segment we were just going into about role-playing is our question. Using our RPG background, what games have we played that brings out that role-playing experience? So if you're new to this show and just starting to listen, mine and Katie's backgrounds are both from role-playing. Mine a lot like double or triple the length that you've been playing.
Not triple. I role-played for almost 20 years. You're not that old.
I started in 79.
Okay, and you started me in 72. Or 82, 92. Oh my gosh.
Wait, what? How's that math out?
I was 4.
I was like, how's that math out there?
Sorry. 92. I started role-playing when Justin was a baby.
Okay.
You only got like 14 years. And you didn't role-play through all of that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't role-play for the first 5 years that we were together. So, anyway.
No, Justin was a newborn when I got back into it.
Which was 92.
Which was 92, which you didn't role play until a little bit afterwards.
He was not even a year old. Okay, so he got back into role playing in 92 with playing riffs with a bunch of friends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what happened. I know there was a little bit of a falling out there, and you ended up bringing all of it home along with, because my brother was role playing with you. And at this point in time, Joe was 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And something happened. I don't remember what it was now, but you ended up just starting to run it home.
Yeah.
For me and Joe and some of Joe's friends.
Yeah, we moved into that really big double.
Yeah. And that's when I got involved, was you doing Palladium, Ninjas, and Super Spies.
Yeah. Your first character was a Ninjas and Super Spies character that kept taking abdomen shots and dropping things.
She was the clumsiest darn super spy ever.
Yeah.
But I loved her. Yeah. Anyway,
back to the question. So what board games have we played recently that's bringing out that role-playing feel?
Right. Because we haven't role-played now, probably since right after COVID.
Yeah, someplace in there. I
game,
think the last one was the gangster, the mafia game.
Yeah,
yes.
with the Doug ran.
It was Prohibition era.
Yeah, that was shortly after COVID, and then something happened. We couldn't go 1 month.
I don't think. Yeah,
canceled.
He said when we got together, he goes, he wants to make sure once everybody's committed, everybody can commit to that day, being able to play it. And then suddenly,
I was sick.
You got sick
and could not go.
Ben wasn't able to get there, and he needed everybody there to do it. So yeah. Anyway, enough of that.
Regardless,
Board games.
what board game gives that feel?
I want to say, well, we've been
There's
playing the
two of
heck
them
out
I
of
can
role
think of.
player adventures. That one definitely does. Even the adventure books look like the old D&D
Yes.
books. That is the thing that drew me to this game
Yes.
so quickly is the adventure books. And hopefully you get a picture. So if you're listening to this on YouTube,
Yeah.
you'll see these pictures of
Oh,
these.
absolutely.
Those come up. But they just reminded me of the old dungeon books from AD&D and Advanced AD&D. And that's what brought me to it. And everybody has their characters. You're leveling up those characters.
Yeah.
And it's based out of the game Role Player,
Right.
which is a board game of
It's a board
dice
game,
placement.
dice placement, yes.
Where
Dice
you're building
placement,
a
dice
character.
manipulation, yeah.
And Role Player Adventure now, you could actually take those characters, convert them
And use
into
them.
a character and play them in this game, or you can play the characters they have.
Which is all we did. It was just
Yeah.
easier
And
that way.
We have played this a ton to the point where we're on
We've-
the current last expansion.
Right.
There is a new one coming out.
We've played through the entire base scenario
Mhm.
with
The side-
the side quests
Yeah.
of Nephra's Judgment.
Nephra's Judgment, I think
think
it is.
that's what it's called.
It gave each character a side quest to do
Right.
on certain maps.
I'm disappointed it does not fit into the new one, but I get why it
Yeah.
wouldn't. I get it because it was designed for the storylines of the first adventure. So I get it.
Maybe if the designer, I blanking on his name again now. His last name's so hard to pronounce. It's like Mike Jack or something like that. Maybe it's like, hey, you need to do an expansion to bring that into this one,
Right.
into the new
Just
expansion.
a new book. That's all it needs. But anyway, we're getting ready literally tomorrow. We're going to start the next adventure.
Gulpix or
Gulpix adventure or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
going to be a lot of fun. And we have enjoyed the heck out of this game.
We have.
And now we have a chance to, we have to change characters, don't we?
Yes, I think we have to do a new one.
Yeah, we have to make new
It
characters.
was Nephra's Judgment, and it is Gulpax's Secret.
Secret, okay.
Actually, yes.
And then the new one is coming
name
up.
of the designer was Keith Matejak.
Matejak or something like that. Yeah.
Matejka.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And we talked to him last year.
We did. We got a picture with him.
He talked us into buying
Nephra's Judgment.
Nephra's Judgment.
He did.
And
He
his
did.
hot sauce. Oh, if you can get their hot sauce, get their hot.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm looking forward to starting this one, but that one definitely gives that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because as you're going through, it is technically a choose your own adventure, which honestly, a lot of role playing, that's what it is. You know, you're choosing what you're doing next, whereas in the games, it gives you very specific choices. You're either going to do this or you're going to do this.
Yeah.
But 90% of the time in a role-playing adventure or actual role-playing, you usually only have a couple options. You're either going to fight the guy or you're not.
Yes.
You know? So we've been playing this with Doug and Sarah, whom we've known for a long time, and we've role-played. That's how we met them, was through role-playing a long time ago. So I think playing it with them kind of makes it lead toward that role-play feel.
Yes.
For us, because the four of us have role-played together for so long. Anyway, so it's just natural. Sleeping Gods, we've been playing a lot of that one lately too.
Yeah.
Well, not recently. We played through a game of it, which was 3 episodes.
Yes.
So we played through a set.
Yeah. We've played
while
that one.
back.
We've played the 2-player
We have,
Primeval
and I
Peril.
really liked that one.
Whatever it was.
Primeval Peril.
Yeah.
And then we started into the...
Distant Skies.
Thank you.
We did a short game of that. We didn't finish anything.
Well,
but
because Distant Skies, unlike Sleeping Gods, doesn't have a set ending.
no, just campfires.
Right, when you sleep for the night to rest.
Well, I meant a certain amount of campfires, and that's the end of
Right,
it.
that's the end of the game. Or when you actually solve the problem.
Mhm.
We decided not to pursue solving the problem because we want to play through this with Doug and Sarah.
Yeah,
so
we
we
didn't
didn't
wanna
want
spoil
any more
anything.
spoilers. So we stopped playing and thought we'll just reset and play again. But that one too, I feel like there's a lot of decisions to make as a group. Where are we going? What are we doing?
Mhm.
Do we fight this guy? Are we going to go ahead and battle the boss monster, or are we taking off? You know,
Right.
things like that. So I feel like that leads a lot to it. You don't have although I don't know, the way we were playing, we were literally role playing our characters in some points. I've enjoyed that one. But even regular board games, the only regular board game I can think of, I feel like any kind of dungeon crawl, really.
Yeah, Massive Darkness, really
Massive
big.
Darkness
the first
really
one,
did.
because you actually have character sheets
Yes.
you're taking care of.
I feel like that one gave me that feel. Honestly, Zombicide sometimes does too, though. because you're still making decisions. You're all still talking about, well, hey, I'm going to go off and do this. And then you've got that one loner who runs off by himself and gets surrounded and has to be rescued.
Yeah, but are you actually role-playing the part?
Well, no, but depends on the people.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are times that we have, because, sometimes.
You've never played the part of what's her name? The skater that you always want to be?
Amy?
Amy.
Yes, I love Amy.
She looks like a big dingbat cheerleader or something. I mean, not the cheerleaders are dingbats. But your typical movie cheerleader is always the dingbat of the group.
The character looks like one. But at the same time, that's true. Okay, fine. Next time I play Amy, I will play it as a dingbat. How's that? I'll put roller skates on and I'll roll around the dining room. And I will probably end up in the hospital.
I had a comment I was going to say, but I will not say this now because I will regret it later. That it's not a far stretch. I mean, I said it out loud again. Anyway, did you think of anything else?
Nope.
I
think it's time to move on.
Okay, so let's redo that. So it's using your RPG background, or if you don't have a background like we have, what is a game that you've played that brings out a role-playing experience that you feel? Because I've got this question online. And I've seen like Mice and Mystics. I'm like going, I guess you could.
Yeah. I just don't like, it gives you dice, and in role playing, you're using dice for combat. Okay, fine. But I don't know. That one was frustrating to me.
That one was really frustrating.
And maybe that's coloring our judgment on it. But I could see that one. Totally.
Okay. So let us know what games you've played that brings out a role playing experience. Our upcoming event, we have Gen Con coming up.
Woohoo.
This year, we are playing with Justin, our producer and oldest son. We are going to be doing live wrap-ups, hopefully. If we can find a nice, quieter space that's not so loud and doesn't echo as we were trying to record.
Right.
But we're going to sit down and kind of wrap up the day, starting on Thursday night. And going all the way till at least Saturday night, and maybe Sunday we'll do it when we get back.
We'll do Sunday
because Gen Con ends early on Sundays. I mean, it goes all day, but the hall,
everything closes.
Dealer
up by
hall
4.
closes up by 4.
Yeah,
we are going to find some place. We're going to sit down. We're going to go over our wrap up, what we thought about the day, and if you are around, join our Facebook group. Because we'll probably post in there, or we may put out a live TikTok and say, hey, we're going to here at this time. You want to come by and say a few things about what you've experienced so far? Come by.
Yeah.
I think we set a time as 8 p.m.
We're going to set a time for 8 p.m. That's the initial thought.
The location has yet to be found.
Right. We're going to have to look for that on
Thursday. It may end up being over at Lucas Oil, or if we can find a nice, quiet hallway someplace in the convention, good luck with that. But at 8 p.m., there might be a better chance. Because by then, the dealer hall has been closed by 6, and then everybody else is usually into their game playing.
Right.
The people who stay around after that, they're off playing a game someplace.
Yeah.
But we do have a surprise guest that's already said he's going to be there.
Yeah.
Do we just go ahead and say it now?
Why not?
So Root Shirt Guy will be there.
Yes.
He's going to be, and these are actually going to be videos too. Mm-hmm. So our live stream is actually going to be videos on the YouTube channel. So look for those every night, sometime at 8. Yeah. Because we'll just go live. So he's going to be there. I think he's going to possibly be there for at least the 3 of them, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Probably.
Because he's not staying with us this year. He's staying with a bunch of friends actually downtown. But anyway, so he's at least one of our known guests. Our buddy Jeff may join us. Jeff Knapp from Tabletop Toolbox. Yeah, from Tabletop Toolbox. He may join us. Justin's going to be there, our producer. He'll be there to join us. To talk and talk about it. Because this is his first time doing all 4 days, isn't it? Yeah, he's actually going all 4 days. His wife's only going to 1 day. So it'll be a lot of fun. And like I said, come to our Facebook page, join the Facebook group.
And we'll post there where we are.
And we'll post there where we're at. And like I said, possibly on the TikTok, do a live video there to say, hey, we're going here. If you want to join us, join us. And we'll probably make that a little bit earlier in the day so you can kind of plan to get there. So I'd say sometime probably about 6, we'll probably be scouting out our areas and post to say, hey,
I hope so.
8 o'clock, we're going to start if you want to come by and join us. So, yeah. So look for us July 31st on our YouTube channel. Or like I said, if you're at Gen Con, look for us. Or if you see us just walking around, just come by, say, hey, We'll have stickers. We can actually give you stickers. I wish we had more
stickers.
stuff. I wish we had more stuff.
It's been on my to-do list to do literally for months,
Yeah.
and I just have
But
not.
we'll
had
at
a
least
chance.
we can hand you off a sticker and you can put it on your computer or on your bumper of your car.
Anyway,
okay, so
all
how
right.
about we talk about some games?
I think we need to do that. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So last night I got a chance to go to Ladies' Night again. By far our largest, 34 women there. We had it at one of the local churches in central downtown area. We had it in their club area, their open area. So we actually had 8 tables running, 34 women, lots of heavy games. I'm talking the first round of games. I was in Terraforming Mars. Somebody else was in one of the Lacerda games. Wondrous Creatures was going on. There was Wonderland's War going on. We had a lot of really heavy games going on in the first round. It was great.
Yeah.
And that's typically what they do.
When I seen Lisboa, I'm not going,
oh, there's always a Lacerda.
a game day. You're playing Lisboa. That's... But if you play as late as you guys, you women do.
I did not leave there till 1:30 in the morning. I got there at 5.
Exactly.
So... no, there is a solid group of women in that group that every single ladies' night, that's the first thing that's played is
Lisboa or just
a Lacerda game.
Wow.
I think last month it was...
Lisboa can be long, on Mars can be long. Kanban not as long.
No, but it was the other one that Weather Machine was last month. And I wanted to get in on that one too, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So anyway, but no, it's not uncommon to see a Lacerda come out at these. So anyway, what I played, I did get Terraforming Mars in. I was very, very happy. I'm not going to talk about it though.
Because you lost.
I lost miserably. Well, no, I only lost by 10 points on that one. We were all very, very close. The one person who had never played it won, but she lucked into by far the best combination between her 2 Prelude cards and her corporation.
I thought you weren't going to talk about it.
I know. All 3 meshed together perfectly. So
you know how secretly happy I was when you said you lost? You came in last in this game. She destroys me at this game every time.
Well, we're going to be playing
it again. Maybe that's why I don't like it as much as you do.
We'll be playing it again soon. I'll destroy you again now that I've had a little bit of practice. Because we haven't played it in years.
No, and we got the big deluxe. Anyway, go to the game you want to talk about.
Yes, the game I want to talk about. The 2 of these I'd never played before. 2 of these I've never even heard of before. So the first one I'm going to start with, though, is a game called Rebel Princess. Sarah brought this out at the very beginning of the night because there was I think 6 of us there. We still had like 20 minutes before the event started, and we just wanted to knock something out quickly while people were gathering. So she dragged out this Rebel Princess. There's only 2 people there had played. I actually won this one. The goal of Rebel Princess, and I love how she put this because Sarah's a character. She goes, men are bad, points are bad.
What are we going to be bad?
So I guess the theme of the game is that you are a princess. There's this group of princesses at a party, and the princes are all showing up to propose to the princesses, and the princesses don't want to get married. So men are bad, and
sounds
so
like the
are
princesses
points.
are snobs.
Anyway, so this is a trick-taking game. You have 5 different suits, maybe 4 different suits. I don't remember now. You have a number of different suits of cards, and you play 5 rounds. There are round cards that come out that tell you the rule-breaking piece for that round. For example, you are looking at pictures and the look on your face. Anyway, so...
Oh, jeez. I'm not going, what does that say? It's in Russian.
Oh. Anyway, normal trick-taking, whoever leads off with this one, trump is whatever is led. There is no real trump. It's just whatever's led. So you have to follow suit, like normal trick-taking, unless you can't follow suit. And then the first person who breaks it, everybody else, if they don't have suit, can throw princes. But you can't throw a prince unless that's the only choice you have. Everybody has a special ability. My special ability said I did not have to follow suit. But I could not throw a prince if I chose to do that. I had to be something totally off suit, but I didn't have to follow suit if I didn't want to. I never used it because I couldn't. Anyway, so there are 5 round cards out in the middle of the table that break something. Like, for example, our very first round card said that it is not the highest card that takes the trick. It is the card furthest away from the card that was led. So if there's 12 cards in each suit, say it was an 8 led, the 12 may take it. It's 4 away. But if somebody threw the 2, well, that's 6 numbers away. It's actually going to take the trick because it's further away from the card that led the suit off. But that was just a rule break for that round.
Mm-hmm.
The next round stated that back to normal, highest card takes the trick. However, if somebody throws a 6, it reverses it. It's now the lowest card that takes the trick. The next 6 that's thrown reverses it again. It's now the highest card that takes the trick. So we had to keep track of the 6s. It was very odd.
God.
There are cards, some of the cards, the Prince cards all have little frogs on them at the bottom. Those are points. You don't want points. There are some other cards like the 8s. There's one, like the green 8, I think, had like 5 frogs on the bottom. Again, those are all points. You don't want those cards. I ended up with 1 point at the end of the game. Points are bad. I won the game. So everybody else, I think Sarah had like 16.
Oh, God.
So she said she always loses horribly at this game. And she did not fail at this one either. It was a cute little card game.
The artwork.
Yes.
Oh, my.
Yeah, the artwork is...
La Sorrenta?
Well, you're looking at a foreign version.
Huh?
You're looking at a foreign version.
No, this is all in English.
Oh.
La Sorrenta is looks like the Little Mermaid sitting on a snail.
Ah.
But there is a card that says Alicia on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no,
and that's a creepy one because it looks like Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
Sitting in a teacup that has a red door and a window, or that might be a clock, and this big giant cat circling around it, and he's holding a star.
Okay.
With this big cheesy grin on his face.
It was a cute game.
It sounds interesting. I'm just sidetracked by the
artwork.
The artwork here.
Yeah. I don't think I took any pictures of this one. That's fine. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. We did not get to play a whole game because by the time we got through the third round, everybody was so distracted with everybody coming in and people were starting to set up their games and getting ready for the first round of stuff. So we kind of called it at the end of the third round and we're done. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. So this one, boy, if you can avoid, like any other trick-taking game, you want to take cards. In this one, man, if you can avoid winning any trick, you're good because you don't want to win the tricks because you don't want the points.
Right.
So it was fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't think I would because this rules seemed very convoluted to begin with, but by the end of it, it was pretty simple. That is Rebel Princess.
One of the games I want to talk about.
Hold on. I just remembered what I forgot to do. I remembered.
You remembered it before I got started.
I did. Okay, Rebel Princess was published in 2023 by Zombie Patella. But no, how do you pronounce that? Well, it's like Gigamic. There's a few of them on here.
Oh, the publishers?
Yeah, Zombie Paella.
Yeah,
and
that's what Paella.
Paella. Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, by Zombie Paella.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few publishers on there, but that's the one that comes up first. Anyway, designed by Danielle Byrne, Jose Guerrero. Thank you. No, there's a D in there.
Jose Gerardo Guerrero.
Okay. Kevin, I'm just going to let you read these.
Kevin Palaz.
Sure.
And
Terso
Vigros.
Okay,
Virgos.
Anyway. And art by Alfredo Caceres.
It looks like it says cancers, but
it's Caceres.
Caceres, yeah.
3 to 6 players, plays in roughly 30 minutes or so, ages 8 and up. All right, I'm done now.
Very good. Okay, so game I'm going to talk about, we both got to play. It was the first time we played. It's newly out. This is Positano. I knew I'd mess that up. But this is a 1 to 4 player game, 20 to 45 minutes. It came out this year, 2025. It is designed by Jeff Grissenthwaite, something like that.
Grissenthwaite.
And artist Beth Trott, and published is Slugfest Games. This is what surprised me when I seen Slugfest Games. These are the people from Red Dragon Inn, which I'm not a big fan of that game.
Right.
But this one was it was interesting. It kind of gave you that feel of Santorini because the pieces, because these are all 3D plastic pieces of buildings that you're building, and then you had the roofs out there and everything.
Only this time you're in Italy,
and it had
Greece.
And it had a multi-level board that sat at the end of the board, and you were building basically apartment buildings on the banks of Positano. Kind of like in the postcards you see from Italy, you see some of these buildings that are built up on the sides that are all different colors and everything.
Or not fluorescent, pastel
and
colors.
This is 100% drafting.
It is, yeah.
There are 3 rows of tiles. In each round, you have, I can't remember, is it cards that we used to draft with?
You had 2 sets of cards. You had your main card, and then you had your bonus card. You had a card. So you had your main card that gave you 3 different options, one for each type of tile. And then you had your little bonus play card that was just a +5, +20, plus whatever.
That's right. You had a hand of cards.
Added.
You had a hand of cards, and they had 3 different levels on it for...
One for each of the different types of tiles.
So you had one to draft the plot area. You had one to draft the level, or how many pieces you got out of your supply. Yeah, to be able to build. And then the last one is going to allow you to build. And that one will be determined by the first card. Your plot plan will tell you what level you're on. And so if you draft a card that says level 4, you can use up to 4 of your building pieces to build it. The building card also tells you what color roof you're getting, because that is the multiplier at the end of the game. Also, there might be something special at the bottom part of that card, because the top part is your roof color, stars for points, and the building icon that tells you now you use this card to build. And then the bottom, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They have little powers, and some of them is like going, you can now add a building block to an already built building, and it can go over the limited height that you can build on that row. Right. And then, of course, there was other cards that were in-game scoring stuff, though. Mm-hmm. But you also had other cards that gave you bonuses, and you could only play 1 card each turn. Each card you played to draft, you could play a bonus card that would have like +5, +6, +7, +1, +22. Yeah.
I think the lowest was 5. The highest was 22, I think.
Something like that. And it would add to the numbers on your draft. So like this card that they're showing, it was a 74 plot, 24 supplies, and 30 to build, and they put a +5 card beside it. So now it's 75, 25, and 35. It also had gelato cones on them. Gelato cones on cards that you get gives you extra scoring. On the cards that you played, gives you extra scoring. Some of the building tiles you get have gelato pieces on it, and they give you extra points at the end of the game. So I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we played it with 4 players, with April and Rob. This was Rob's game. He wanted to play it. They just got it. This was a lot of fun. I mean, some of the in-game scoring, I think one of the in-game scoring was... Oh, no. With a 4-player game, there's always 1 square that is not used. One plot is not used. One plot,
yes. And you know what it is right off
the
bat.
And it came out at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
The plot that was right above it on the 4th level came out. And somehow I got to be first that game, and I pulled out my highest numbered cards for that level.
Yeah, you bid and
so
got that first one.
And so I had a lot of points there, because if you build, like, say you got a level 4 tower on the 4th level, and then you can build on the 3rd level, somebody else builds on the 3rd level, and they build a total of 3. When you score your points, it's only the levels you can see.
Yeah, it's the levels who have views still
that has views. Yeah, and that was the whole point of the game. You want your apartments to have views. Now, I had 2 buildings out there that April's like, well, why'd you build it there? Like, because I was last on that turn, and those were the spots I had left, and I only had a few tiles left. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't build full height. So these 2 buildings were single stories up on the 5th floor, or the 5th level, and the 4th level. So I didn't get any points out of those. Nope. And I always made sure those had the bronze roofs on them anyway, so I wasn't wasting the colored roof and everything.
Right, you weren't wasting a gold or silver.
But it was surprisingly a lot. I had a lot of fun with this game.
I did too. It was very interesting. It was a neat puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
For a drafting game, I loved the fact that, like I said, 1 card gave you all 3 options, and you had to choose what was more important to you that round. Mm-hmm. The plot, the roof color, or how many pieces you needed from the supply.
Yes.
I thought that was very interesting. And the numbers weren't sometimes anywhere close. It was 70, 30, 40 or 70, 30, 20.
Well, that one card I was just talking about was 70, 20, 30. So it's like, which
really
one do you
had to make a choice.
Which tile did you really, really want out of that?
Or is it more important to get that 1 gold roof that's out there?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't care where I'm at. I have enough pieces to do any of these.
Yeah,
I want that gold roof.
And it's not like you could save your tiles that you drafted.
No.
You had to use them that round.
turn. Well, you mean the location or the roof? Yes, you had
All
to
three
use that
of them.
turn. No, the tiles.
Well,
that
no,
you
the tiles.
drafted just
Yeah, the
went into your
tiles you
supply.
drafted. But you had to take the tiles out of your supply.
You had to get them into your supply, and if you didn't have enough, if all that's left out there is to grab 2 pieces, and you're now on the 5th level, and you might have 10 still sitting over here in your supply, you can't touch them unless you can get that tile that says I can have 5 pieces or I can have 4 pieces. If all that's left is a 2.
And
I guess you're building 2 pieces up on the 5th level because that's
Which
all
is
you've got
likely
left.
to get built over and they won't have a view.
Yeah, it's just I thought it was pretty interesting because you had to make that decision, and then there was the bonus cards.
Yeah,
how important is that first floor, that ocean side?
Mm-hmm.
How important is that view to me? Do I add my plus 22 to it? Do I use that card up now, or do I save it for something better? It was an interesting mix.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
So that was Positano. It just came out this year, so look for it.
Okay, the second game I'm going to talk about is another game that I got played last night. Now, this one we've played a lot of, but I was requested to bring a challenging cooperative game. Now, mind you, the person who asked me to do that was busy with something else and didn't play, but that's okay. I still got it played. This was The Spill. The Spill was published in 2022 by Smirk and Dagger Games. Ha, I remembered first. Designed by Andy Kim, art by Kawachi Mori. Plays 1 to 4 players, roughly an hour, ages 14 and up. I think you could go younger if, that
Possibly.
person. Yeah.
It might just be content.
Well, and that's possible. That's maybe why they did 14 and up, because it is kind of a gruesome content.
Mm-hmm.
The basis of The Spill is that you are cleaning up and rescuing animals that have been affected by an oil spill out in the ocean from an oil rig. The board itself depicts an oil rig in the center of the board with the black oil spill everywhere. The spill itself, other than the artwork on the board, is depicted by dice that get rolled through this dice tower / oil rig in the middle of the building, in the middle of the board. Everybody has a separate character. There are 8 different characters. You play any 4 at any given time during any given game. Each one of them has a special ability. As the game progresses, you are trying to basically meet your win conditions. This is like any other cooperative game. There is only one way to win and lots of ways to lose. To win, you have to meet the 3 requirements that come on your winning condition card. The cards, I think there's 9 or 10 different cards in the game, various levels of difficulty. So that is one way to kind of help set your difficulty level. If it gets a little too easy or it's too hard, just kind of go back or forth on that. And then there's also a place where, just kind of like any cooperative game, as bad things happen, it starts to ramp up. As more and more spillouts happen and more animals are contaminated and things like that happen, then the amount of oil you're pulling out of the bag, i.e. the dice, ramps up, and you start having to pull more to dump at any one given turn. So to lose the game, winning, like I said, you just got to meet all the requirements dictated on the card. To lose the game, having 6 spillouts means you've got 3 of any one number dice in a specific quadrant. Or you have lost too many animals to the spill. When you get either 3 of one type of contaminated animal or 1 of each of the 6, then that is a losing condition of the game. There is one other way to win. I lied. There are 2 ways to win this game. You can meet your winning conditions, or you can run the bag out of dice. If you can manage to get all the dice onto the board or cleaned up from the board, not just pushed back, but cleaned up, then you could win that way. We've never won that way. We have lost 3 times. We won when we played with Rob and April last week, and we did win last night. I was very happy about that.
How'd you win?
Most of us stayed in our zone.
Exactly.
I said most. I did not say all. I said most. Ironically, we played.
Every game we have lost, everybody but me have left their zone. And they're like all the way on the other side of the board, and they're like 2 zones that are completely unattended. And so the people so far away from it.
Whatever. Anyway.
And I've always said from day one, the first time we played, that I think we all need to stay in our zones and play our areas. We need to try a harder
game to see if that scenario still works.
Okay, so how many times have you won the game?
Twice.
When you've left the areas?
None.
How many times have you played the game and played your zone and won the game?
Shush. But we played the same 4 people, and I did not pick these. I literally handed everybody, I said, what's your favorite color? Great, here's this one. And then they picked randomly on the second one. And then they looked at the two of them and everybody chose which one they wanted. And we ended up with the exact same 4-player powers that we had when we played with Rob and April. So I thought, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. They are 4 very strong player powers. So how this game plays, on each turn, you get 4 action points you can use. So at the start of your turn, you are dumping 3 or 4, maybe even as many as 6 dice into the tower, which is the oil rig. Mm-hmm. So you're dumping all that in there. The way this is set up, the dice are spilled into one of 4 different quadrants. And then you take those dice and you assign them to the quadrant based on what they rolled. And then you take your actions. You can move around the edge of the board. You can rescue animals that have not yet been affected by dice. You can rescue animals that have been affected by dice, by oil. That takes a little bit more energy to do, so it takes an extra action point. You could push dice back into the bag. If there's getting to be too many dice in one section, push it back, put it back in the bag. Alternatively, you could literally just clean it up. That's the hardest thing to do. It takes 3 action points to do it, but you could just clean up the dice and put it into a separate count. Usually that cleanup process is one of the win conditions. You have to have so many cleaned up in order to win. Like last night, we played the one that we had to have 2 full sets. There are a total of 6 sets there's 6 different types of animal marine life we're trying to save. We had to have 2 full sets, 3 of the ones that had already been affected by oil, 3 contaminated ones. We had to rescue 3, and then we had to have 12 dice pulled. We had to have 12 dice cleaned up. Similar to what we played with Rob and April, but not exact. And I'll tell you, they all went into this, because I played with Holly, Sarah, and Tara. And Holly was very much into it doesn't do us any good to push it back. We need to clean it. Take the points, clean it up. So we did that. And of course, Sarah had the ability where she could just remove 1 for 1 less. So she was removing them for 2. I had the ability that anytime I went through an area once per turn, I could just push 1 back automatically.
I think that's what you played when you...
It is, yeah. It is. And then Tara had the one where she could rescue an animal for free. She had what Rob had. So every round she was rescuing an animal for free. Mm-hmm. And then Holly had the one that you had played where she could rescue diagonally. So yeah, it was good. Everybody enjoyed it. I'm still going to have to pull it out one time and play with the other Sarah, who is the one who requested I bring it in the first place, and then got into a game of Zombicide instead. So, but yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. It's a hard one to win. I feel like we've found the secret, so it's time to ramp it up a notch. That is The Spill by Smirk and Dagger.
I'm going to skip over the one I have listed second to go to the third one I have listed.
Okay.
This is a very old game. We decided this was from when?
Oh my God.
19... Okay, so this was like 1980?
The copy we have is 1981. However, it was originally published in 1971, I think.
Okay, I'll just go through it.
Okay.
So this is Space Hop. This was put out in 1973.
Okay.
By Helmut Wimmer, and Teaching Concepts was the publisher. Mm-hmm. It's 2 to 4 players, 30 minutes time, and there's no real age difference. The community says 6 to 12, which I can see.
The version I have is from 81.
Okay. So in this game, you have a board out in front of you of the universe, the solar system. Yeah. And it includes Pluto, as Katie points out in our playing through our collection video.
As it should.
As it should.
Include Pluto.
But it has the planets out. And what you're doing, there's moons out there, there's satellites out there.
No satellites. Nope. Asteroids, Halley's Comet.
Yeah.
The asteroid belt.
Yes.
The sun,
Maybe
of course.
That's what I'm thinking.
And then
about
the 6 planets.
Yes.
Or the 9 planets. I'm sorry, the 9 planets.
Anyway, so what you're doing is going to tell you to start the game on, you're going to roll a dice and you're going to start on that space portal. Whatever your dice number is. 1 through 6. And you are going to pull a mission card. The mission card's going to give you a clue as to where you need to go. So it's going to give you like a question. You need to answer the question correctly by going to the area it says to go to. And normally it's one of the planets. So you're going to head that direction. You're going to move the number of dice you rolled. And once you get there, there is a little mini wheel that you dial in the number on the bottom of the card and see if you're correct. If you're not correct, you now know where you need to go, and now you need to turn around and go.
And hopefully it's not clear across the solar system.
If you do get it right, you get an SNC card, which we still can't remember what SNC meant, though, but it's points. It's basically, this is a points game at the end of when somebody gets to a certain amount of points, wasn't it?
When somebody gets to 25.
When somebody gets 25 points, game instantly ends.
Yes.
Game over. Person who got 25 wins the game.
Yep.
This is, like I said, it's a roll and move game, and you're trying to figure out what question you got. The downside that I had so much problem with this game with is when you rolled doubles, you had to pick up a hop card and go to the area it said to go to. I was within striking distance, just one more turn, and I'd be on the planet I needed to go to twice.
Which was Pluto.
And rolled doubles. Once sent me to Saturn, which is completely to the other side of the board, which is probably, 20 to 30 spaces away from where I need to go, which is going to take me another 4 rounds, 5 rounds.
At least the second time it took you straight to Pluto.
And, right, that's what I was going to say. My second roll, it actually put me on Pluto, which helped a little bit. By the time I got to Pluto, Katie had finished 3 mission cards.
I had.
For my first card. Guess who won this game? Anyway,
there are a little bitter there.
There are space portals out there, but if you land on a space portal and you want to take your action as going through the space portal, you don't just say I'm hopping to this one. No, you have to roll a dice, so it is random. So it could put you right by where you need to go, or it could put you to the other side of the board where you don't need to go. So it can be just as deadly as rolling doubles and getting a space hop.
Could be.
Now you played this a lot when you was a kid.
My sister and I played this. A lot is an understatement, yes.
To the point where you had to cover the pictures up and only have this because you memorized where the pictures are at. And a lot of the pictures, it's pretty obvious where you're going to go.
Some of them are pretty obvious. Not all of them.
Some of them are kind of like, what is that supposed to be?
Yes. So, yeah, all of these trivia cards have photographs on them or drawings that would depict something to do with the question. And the only one that comes to mind is one that I had that says, go to the planet that appears to be laying on its side.
Yes.
Which was Uranus. And it showed a picture of Uranus. Unfortunately, on the board, Uranus was blue and the card was yellow and green. But it did show the stripes that are depicted on the board. Yeah, we played it enough that we had to make sleeves to cover the pictures. So all we could see was the question because we had memorized all the pictures. But yeah, we played this a lot as a kid.
So you love this game.
I do. It's.
And
I mean,
this game is sitting on a shelf. I think this is only the second or third time I've played this game.
Yeah. It's on the shelf. It's one of those that will never go away because it has sentimental value.
I think I would have enjoyed it more if I just wasn't having so much trouble getting to where I needed to go.
Doubles, yes.
That was killing me.
And I don't like the fact that the one rule I don't like is that you have to land with an exact number.
Yes, that was.
So,
you know how many times I circled Pluto?
Yes,
then I ended up having to go to Saturn. I'm like, are you kidding me? I needed a 2.
I could
or
see
an even
that
number
you
to
needed
get in.
An even number, and you kept
and
rolling
I rolled
odd numbers.
a double 3.
Yeah,
and it sent me to Saturn.
Well, no, because you could finish your turn first. You needed an odd number, and you kept rolling.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Anyway,
and yeah,
but one of the turns, I rolled an even or whatever it was, and ended up at Saturn, and now I had to start that all over.
I know.
Yeah,
and that could be an easy house rule, is that you don't have to do it by exact count now. But nonetheless, it would certainly be take some of the frustration, because that is probably the most frustrating part.
It'd make the game
to
faster
me,
too, though.
Is that you have to have that exact count.
Yeah, it would make the game a lot faster because you're not orbiting the planet.
You're not spending your whole turn just orbiting the planet.
It's kind of trying to tell you that you're orbiting the planet and doing the study or whatever before you and finding a good spot to land. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but that'd be an easy. Like I said, an easy house rule.
Yeah, this one I think it's just missing something on it. I don't know. I
mean, it's a trivia game.
Yeah,
that's essentially what it is. It's a trivia game.
It's a trivia game with some frustrating spots.
A roll and move trivia game.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, it's an okay game. It is definitely dated.
It's
because Pluto's in there.
Well, yes, but that is the only thing that makes it dated. And the facts about Pluto are still 100% correct.
Yes.
It's not like just because they downgraded
I think the
Pluto
dated
from
part,
a planet,
it almost looks like it's one of those games that the rules to the game would be on the inside of the box lid.
Okay, I'll give you that. Old. I will give you that.
It doesn't, though, but it's one of those games you would think. And back in the day, that was always cool. You couldn't lose the rules as long as you had the box lid. There it was, or the little box insert that all your components went on one side. Then it had that there just to lay your board down on, and it had all the rules written on it. It's a lot like that.
But that's not how the rules are. It's actually a small pamphlet.
Yeah, and the player pieces are like really tall. Well, not real
rocket
tall.
Ships.
The rocket ships
They're
are like maybe an
ships.
inch and a half tall, maybe 2 inches
2
tall.
inches tall. Yeah.
Okay, so that is Space Hop.
I still love the game.
It's not a horrible game.
It's a silly trivia game, educational trivia game.
Yeah.
All right, so the last one I'm going to talk about is another one I got played last night. This is one, again, I had never heard of prior to Sarah pulling it out. This is a game called Insectarium, and I did not know she is an insect fiend.
Which Sarah? We have so many Sarahs that are friends with.
Sarah G.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. We do suddenly have a lot of Sarah friends.
We have Sarah G, Sarah B, Sarah H.
We do have quite a few. Okay, so Insectarium was published in 2024 by Snowbright Studios, designed by Kristen Mott, and art by Meg Lemire. Plays 1 to 4 players, 30 to 45 minutes, ages 8 and up. Now, with Insectarium, it is a 9... Your board is basically a grid of 3 by 3, so 9 spaces. So there's 9 turns in the whole game. There are 4 cards laid out for everybody to choose from, 2 insects, 2 tool cards. And then there are little tokens. In the base game, they're cardboard. She had the Kickstarter, so it was acrylic. But there are 4 little tokens that are laid out under them. So kind of like Cascadia, you're taking a set. You're taking a tool and the token, or an insect and the token. You always have 2 insects in your hand at a time to choose from. So if you take a tool, some of them are instant uses, some of them you can save and use when you're good. But after you've taken whatever card and token you want, you don't have to use the tokens right away. You can set them off to the side, or you can put them on the board so you can kind of help plan your layout. Every round, you have to end the turn by placing an insect on your board. If you are left with only 1 insect in your card, then you draw 1 blind off the top of the stack, because if you take a tool card, then you're obviously not getting that replacement insect card from the table. All right, so you're placing your insects out. Now, each of the insects have some icons on them. There are icons on there that if you get 3 of them, they make a set, and every set is worth 5 points. Done. Simple as that. There are other icons, though, up in the corner that indicate the type of insect it is. Is it a butterfly? Is it a beetle? Is it just a true like grasshopper type insect? And there were 3 or 4 of those. I think there were 4 different types of insects. And then there are different colors too. There was red, yellow, white, and green, and black. So there's 5 colors. And each of these icons that were up in the corner, each of these qualifiers, the insect type and the color, all of those were represented by the tokens that were being put out randomly as well. And some of the tool cards helped with the tokens. Like I got a tool card that said I can discard 2 tokens, 2 of my tokens I didn't need, and I could literally fish through the bag and pull out the one I wanted. So I did, and it got me some points. I don't think I won this. I'd have to look. I think I actually lost this, even though I took an early lead because I had the most sets, but I think I still lost. But anyway, all right, so you're laying out the cards. Once the cards are down, you cannot move them. That's where they are. There was 1 tool that would let you replace one of them, a little pair of tweezers, where you could literally pick one up and put it down someplace else. You could move something on your board.
It literally had tweezers.
Yes, it was a pair of tweezers. The card had a pair of tweezers on it.
Okay. Like,
it wasn't a physical pair of tweezers.
This has now become a dexterity game.
Right? No. But there were some tools that, like, there was one that said you could take one off the board and replace it with something from your hand. So there was ways to manipulate it. But for the most part, once the insect was down, it was pinned. It was pinning. That's what it was. You were pinning it in place.
Yeah, because this is like one of the insect specimen display
Yes.
things. Like you'd see people putting butterflies or bees or whatever on it.
Always kind of grossed me out. But
They're usually dead by then, though.
Well, I know, but it's still. Anyway, always grosses me out. So anyway, so at the end of the game, how you're scoring points. Each one of these specimens, and you're right, they call them specimens. Each one of the specimens have a victory point value on them. But you only get those victory points if the token you lay down in that row or column matches the symbol on the card.
Okay.
So, for example, if I had a red token, a red butterfly, I had the butterfly symbol and the red symbol and on my row I put red and on my column I put butterfly, I would actually be able to score that guy twice. So you wanted to make sure your tokens lined up with your higher scoring pieces. And there were a couple of wilds out there that scored no matter what you put on, but they were usually only worth a point. They weren't worth very much. They was just guaranteed scores. I thought it was pretty interesting. It took me probably about half the game to catch on to exactly what I was doing. But I thought it was really interesting.
Right.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of Cascadia with the way you were selecting your stuff. But yeah, I did like it. It was a very pretty game.
This kind of reminds me of Keystone North America, where you're putting rows of animals and stuff in there in their habitats, and they have icons, and you're scoring the icons as long as each row or column has the same icon. And then they also coming across has to be in numerical order. Yep. So like it would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if you had like a 1, 2, 4, 4, 3 or something then now they're not going to score because you only score it up to the point they're in numerical order. Where the number
breaks, yeah.
So it sounds like a little bit of scoring. A little bit,
yes, because you have to go the up and down because they have to be in numeric order both up and down and across.
But yeah, that as soon as you were telling me to score, and when I looked at a picture, I was like, that reminds me of this game.
I could see that. But anyway, yeah, that was Insectarium.
Okay. One question about it.
Okay.
This one, I don't remember if you covered this when you were talking about this. Okay. These pictures have the little green glass beads.
Those are the tokens that you're putting out to score by. Oh, the green glass beads. I'm so sorry.
Yes, I said the green glass beads.
You're right. The little pente stones. Those are basically used to cover up the sets. So as you gain sets of different token or different icons on the cards. So you see how on some of these you see little keys and there's 3 different types of icons on some of the cards. And as you make a full set of 3 of those icons, 3 different
basically
icons.
Shows you that you've scored it already.
It shows that you've already scored those because you can only use them once.
Right. Yes. And I noticed the ones with the blue lightning bolts on it, those are instant.
Those are instant.
Tool cards,
you have to use them immediately.
Because I've seen waders and backpack. And,
Yeah, those have to be used immediately. So yeah, some of them let you swap out cards or, most of them let you swap out some of the tokens. At least all the ones I saw. But yeah, it was an interesting little game. Kind of an indie project type of thing. Very small Kickstarter. Okay.
Last game I want to talk about. We talked about this actually last week. That is So You've Been Eaten. But since you went to your ladies' night, I got to play this solo.
I'm very proud of you for pulling this out and playing it solo.
I played it 3 different times, 3 different ways.
Okay.
I played the miner against the hibernating beast. In that game, I mean, when you break out the solo book, it plays a little different than what you're used to. Now, the miner part plays exactly the way it would be in a 2-player game. Now, the hibernating beast is a little bit different because on their turn, they have to do a couple of different things. They roll the digestion dice. That was that green dice with the red on it. And on the hibernating board, because it's a 2-sided board, one side is 2 players, and then the other side shows the robot sides. On their board, they have these numbered 1 through 6 and different things that happen. Like when you roll the dice, you're going to take the gem that's closest to the miner, or it's going to take the gem that's the farthest away from the miner in the digestive tract, or it's just going to destroy a card, or it's going to pick up all the cards, shuffle them all back up, and put them back out, starting at the miner, going back up the row, or it's going to take one of the immune response cards.
Okay.
Because that's how, when you're playing 2 versus 2, that's one of the winning conditions for the beast is having 5 of the immune response cards out. Well, this one, it would take when it's a hibernating one, there's only 1 stack of cards, not the 3 out like when you're playing 2 versus 2.
Okay.
Or 2 players, I mean. You only have 1 with 1 flipped over. So if you rolled a 6, you would have to take that card that you were going to get this turn and put it to the bottom of the deck, and then you would get the next card, actually. The monster would get the next card. Those powers were still in effect when they came out. So just like the game, and that was one of his winning conditions if he got 5 of those. The other thing with them was they don't have the infection cards that you would draw out and place face down at the end of the round when the person was, the miner would take damage. If you had it, it would get rid of one of your upgrades.
Okay.
Also on the hibernating board is when one of the bacteria's levels raised up to the 2nd level, you would lose an upgrade automatically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you would automatically. So on the board,
cool.
I mean, if you look at the way the boards are, when you're playing person versus person, usually it's a long board and you play across from each other, and
Right.
and the viruses go down the board towards the miner. Well,
Sure.
when you're playing as the miner versus the hibernating, it's set up that you
It's
can still
pushed
play
away
that
the
way,
other
and you
way,
push it
yeah.
away the other way. I played with the board sideways, so I could easily control, because this is a long board and it's
It
a
is a
long
long
stretch
board.
over to the other side, though.
Sure.
Yeah, so if it got up to the second level of bacteria, you lost a upgrade. Other than that, of course, the hibernating beast didn't get a hand of cards that it was going to pass out. It was just you refilled.
Okay.
Other than that, that was the only difference when you play it that way. So now when you're playing the beast against the robot miner, the board changes. And now you have 3 little slots at the top of your board and labeled 1, 2, and 3. And under each one has their powers, what they're going to do that turn. So you're going to roll the 3 dice that you would normally roll, one at a time, and you'd place it in slot 1, slot 2, slot 3. And then whatever the dice roll is the highest, that's the turn it would take. So like say the dice in slot 2 was a 6. So that would affect the card at slot 6. And on this board, it would say it would go after, if it had a crystal, it would take the crystal, and then the card would go off and everything would move down. That is one of the things we played wrong in the game.
See, I thought we looked that up.
Yes, I looked it up again. I wanted to double check because I watched 2 videos on this, 2 solo plays of the game, and they were doing it. And it's in the main book that's what it is too. So that was one of the ways we played, because we usually left it open, but no, it moves down.
Well, I mean, that would make it easier because then you can actually access some of the cards easier.
Yeah, but like if it couldn't take a gem, then you go to the second one, and this one meant that it would just destroy the card. Or it would get rid of immune card of that number. If there was an immune card out there that had the number of the dice, you would be able to get rid of that card.
Okay.
Another action on there was it had tools. So if it was a card that it was able to pick up a tool, it didn't actually pick up tools. On the other side of the board for the robot miner had these little stars, which was points at the end of the game, but it had the bacteria, and each one had like 2 or 3 different types of bacteria. So when it was able to pick up a tool, it would move up one. And one of its ways to win the game is if it got to the top of that chart.
Okay.
But if you were playing against it as the beast, whatever cards, before you decide whether you wanted to buy one of the immune cards or anything, you could spend those colors of cards, the different types of bacteria on those cards, to back that miner up on that track.
Okay.
If you got all the way totally cleared, you made the beast get rid of one of the gems. Okay, so yeah, so the other one was you just got rid of the card of that number. The other one that would they basically called it eliminate bacteria. It was the one that, say, like it was affecting card 4, and the cards on either side of it matched it, the bacteria, you could get rid of all 3 or 2 or however many cards
Right.
there was adjacent to it. That was the same one. So it kept the same game basics going, but it was really cool. So I won with the beast. No, I won with the miner. I lost against the robot miner.
Okay.
But then I realized that I had been playing
Something wrong.
the robot miner wrong.
Okay.
But then I played hibernating beast versus robot, and that was really cool because you're kind of like going, "All right, beast, get him, get him, get him." Oh no, you don't want to do that. Let's do. So you found yourself going back and forth like, who wants to win this? Who wants to win this? And there's really, I mean, you could cheat at this game easily though, but why? It's only you that's playing it.
Right.
And it was so much fun. And I looked at the expansion we have not played, and the name of it is just kind of interesting. Decepto Beastmal. Like
Okay.
Pepto-Bismol.
Oh Lord. Oh my god.
And it puts out tokens on the board. They're little pink splots
They're
of
little-
something.
Okay.
And they go out on the board. I can't remember exactly how they get put out on the board. Oh, I think each round, the beast, when he puts out his new cards, these will all be face down. They have numbers on the other side of them. And he will draw one of these out of the pile, and he'll place it on the card for, matching the number. So it basically gave, I believe it gave the miner extra power or an extra action or something for that area. I didn't go into it. I didn't play it, but it looked really interesting. So next time we play it, we'll have to get that one out and play it. Yeah, so this was great. I didn't go over who did it because we just talked about it last on the last podcast, but it's a game by Scott Alms and art by Kawachi Mori. The artwork is phenomenal in this game. I love the artwork in this game. And this came out in 2022. There is actually another expansion and some promos out there. I'm going to look for it if we can see it. But I really like this game, and I really think we need to do a playthrough of this and maybe even a review, although I've just reviewed a lot of it, and we reviewed some a couple weeks ago. So,
yes.
But at least a playthrough. This is a great game. If you can find it, play it. It's awesome.
It's an interesting two-player game.
It has that take that mechanism in it, but it doesn't really have that take that mechanism in it.
It doesn't feel like
it doesn't feel like it's just a lot of fun to figure out how to get around to doing everything.
Yes.
So that is So You've Been Eaten from 2022. So on to our first look. This week we are talking about Wondrous Creatures.
Okay, so Wondrous Creatures was published in 2024 by Bad Comet, designed by Yeom CW, art by Sophia Kang. Plays 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, in roughly 40 to 80 minutes. I know our 4-player game lasted a bit longer than that, I felt like. But
there was a lot of
downtime.
AP in there.
There's a lot of AP in this one, yes, especially at 4 players. Mm-hmm. All right, so how this one's played. We've only gotten to play this once, and it was a week ago, so bear with me. Wondrous Creatures I want to say it's, matter of fact, it was kind of funny because somebody last night compared it to a tableau builder, and we all decided it's not tableau builder, it's engine building. Mm-hmm. There's really not much of a tableau that you're building. So this is an engine building worker placement game. All of the characters you either randomly dealt or you choose a character at the start of the game, and then that is basically your captain's powers. So there are 4 different captains in the game. There's multiple captains in the game. There are 4 player colors, but your captain. Well, I take that back. The captains were all individual. They're all wood.
Yes.
Wood not die cast, but screen printed pieces.
Yes.
But you chose your captain. Your captain you had to unlock by gaining a trophy. Mm-hmm. But I'll come back to that.
Completing an achievement.
Thank you. All right, so with this one, you have 3 beast creatures, 3 wondrous creatures that you are putting out onto a hexagon-style board in order to gain resources. You're tracking your resources on your board. There's no physical components to them. You're tracking them on the board. One of the things you can do with those resources is to get cards. All of the creatures cover 2 hexagon pieces, and anything that is next to you, you can claim. You can claim either the resource itself, or you can claim that type of card from the forest or from the meadow. I think it was called a forest. I don't remember what they called the card row, but it's a card row. Cards are essentially how you're building out your engine. So you do need to get them at some point. So you're placing your creatures down, you're collecting resources, you're potentially even collecting eggs. Eggs give you different icons. This is one of those games that has various icons on the cards. So the cards are made up of a number of different tags up in the corners. The tags could be species icons. There are also habitat icons. And throughout the game, you can get bonuses based on how many of those quote unquote tags you have, whether it be the species or the habitat. At the bottom of the card tells you what it does. Some are instantaneous, some are end game, some are ongoing. Some are every time at the end of the round when you have to pull back, or not the end of the round. This is not one of those that has set rounds. Everybody pulls back whenever they need to and kind of resets. And that means pulling all of your 3 workers off the board.
Kind of like Everdale.
Yeah, kind of like that, yes. Where you're pulling back when you need to advance into the next set.
And suddenly those spaces on the island become
now available for other people to take or for you to retake, vice versa. So as various things happen, you are taking a tile off of a stack, and you're not even taking it off the stack. You're choosing one of the 3 that are out to put out onto the island, and you're covering up water spaces on the island. So this is how the island is constantly transforming, because new resources are becoming available as the game progresses. Also on the island is a number of eggs. The eggs go onto your player board, and they also give you those same tags as the cards do.
Mhm.
So it helps you later on when you have to pay a certain resource in order to get a card out or to get something out. You can use your eggs and quote unquote hatch them in order to, which
more.
basically means flipping them
Yes.
over,
Mm-hmm.
in order to get more of the tags that you need. Those typically come into play. The place I saw them come into play the most is gaining those achievements. There are a number of achievements out on the board along with little metal trophies. And as you completed an achievement, kind of like in Earth, you would get points based on how soon or which level you chose.
Yes.
Kind of like in Ark Nova in this case.
Mm-hmm.
You might choose it just to get that trophy because, one, it's a point at the end of the game. Two, the first one unlocks your captain and your captain's abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So you might go for, okay, I've got 4 of these icons. I could get way more points if I could get 7 of them, but I just want to get that captain unlocked. I'll go ahead and take it the 4.
Yeah.
So, and I did that.
And that's the best thing is to get that captain unlocked early.
And then once you get the captain unlocked, you take the little piece, which is it has a magnet in it, and it magnetizes to one of the creatures.
Yes.
So now he's riding the creature. So it's kind of neat.
It's really cool. Yep.
So the game ends when all the trophies are gone. And the trophies disappear every time somebody completes an achievement, and there's so many out based on the number of players. There's also a track in the middle of the board where every time somebody pulls back, that track progresses. And occasionally throughout the track, new eggs are put out on the board.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get to the very end of the track, now trophies start disappearing every time somebody rests.
Mm-hmm.
The trophy is gone. And you find yourself resting, I mean, not often, because you get 2 actions. So you can put somebody out and you can do a card play, and sometimes you're activating cards as your actions. You're not always putting people out.
Mm-hmm.
But at the beginning of the game, people are progressing pretty quick because you need the resources. It was an interesting game. And like I said, that is a very, very brief overview. I'm not going to try to actually
it's
break
first
down.
look. We've
Yes.
only played this once.
We have.
I loved the player pieces because they're like little
Yes.
worms almost.
Little dragons.
Little dragons, yeah.
Mine looked like almost like little armadillos.
Oh, that's right. Yours did have
Mine
little
had
armadillos.
little armadillos, and then
There was like dinosaur, like one had, like
April's
had
was like a sea serpent.
no, that was mine. I had
Was
the blue
yours?
ones. Yes,
Okay.
I had the sea serpent one, or
Okay.
it could have been a dragon.
Yeah, I know the white
'Cause-
one looked like a little sea serpent.
Oh, maybe that is right. And then you matched your boss or your leader or captain
Yes.
to the card you have.
Right.
So they weren't any specific colors because I had the blue little dragons or sea serpents or whatever they were. And then I think my guy was actually, she was a female and she was like a green color, I think.
I don't remember what I had.
But I had a really good power.
yeah.
And I took that over the other one, which was it was a decent power, but I
Yeah.
can't remember the name of the person I had though, but she could, if you stuck your your worker out on a wooded area,
Yes.
you
'cause
had
those-
to pay resources for it.
Right.
My special power for my person did not have to do that.
See, my special power was I could grab eggs adjacent to me. Normally, in
Yes.
order to get an egg, you had to land on them, or you had to have an ability
You
that let
had to
you
have
take
one
it.
of the butterfly nets.
Right, you had to have a butterfly net to take it from adjacent to
Yes.
you. I would just be able to take it no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I could, if I put my captain next to an egg,
Mm-hmm.
which was helpful in the legs because you
Yeah.
couldn't land, you couldn't put your worker on a leg. But I think I used it twice. By the time I got him out there, there was no eggs out there, so I had to wait for eggs to get out there. It just the timing just didn't work out well.
Yeah, I started down that egg track really quick, and I was going, and then suddenly, for some reason, I stopped.
I say I got all
I
my
never
eggs.
got more. I think what it was is that I had a card that would score me points every time I recharged
Mm-hmm.
to the number of eggs that I've hatched. So I was always hatching my eggs,
Right.
so I get more points. But the reward card was unhatched
Hatched eggs.
eggs, and I thought it would just having 8 eggs
Yeah.
would get you points. And when
I
I
think-
got up to 8 and I seen Rob had 9, I was like, he didn't take that power, but screw it, I'm doing it this round. And I took it, and he goes, no, you can't do that. You don't have enough. I was like, I got 8 eggs. He goes, but they have to be unhatched. I was like, I just looked this rule up.
You
And
missed
somehow
that.
I missed in bold type, all caps, unhatched. I'm like going, how did I miss that? And I think after that, I don't think I collected another egg.
I think you gave up on eggs after that. Because shortly thereafter, Rob got it, and then I got it.
Which I don't understand. Why didn't I just fill out my board and get them all hatched? Because that was even more points for me. Even though I won the game.
You did.
And was
April
way out
was
in front
right
of you.
On your heels,
I was out in front of you guys by a long shot for a long time until those last couple of rounds. And all of a sudden, April was right there. I'm like going, oh, geez, I probably lost this game because here comes April, here comes you, here comes Rob. Like when you guys are suddenly catching me and I'm not gaining as much as I was getting as I was at the beginning of the game. So it's not one of those, if you fall way behind, it's like a slog the rest of the way because there's no way you can catch up. You guys caught me really quick with the last couple of rounds because all of a sudden you guys started scoring a lot of points because you were getting a lot of achievements done.
Final score was only, 19 points difference?
Yeah.
You won with 129.
Yeah, and
April,
I think
oh no, we were all way back there. Nobody was right on your heels. Rob had 114, April 111, and I had 110.
And I had what?
129.
Okay. I think at one point, though, I think I was like almost 30 points ahead of you guys.
You were. And you ended up the game being 15 points ahead of Rob. So you still had a pretty
And Rob thought he
lead.
had a horrible game.
Yeah.
And he ended up in second. He was like, wait, how did I do that?
I was impressed that April and Rob and I were all 4 points apart.
Yeah.
But
I just jumped out to a really, really big league.
You did.
Yeah, I really like this one. This one I wouldn't mind putting in the collection. We do not have it in the collection right now.
I don't like the spelling of Wondrous because the first time I looked it up, I could not find it.
Right, because I kept spelling it the way
E.
I know. I kept spelling it the correct way.
Like, who in the world took the E out of Wondrous?
They had to be different.
Yes.
But
anyway.
the net, it was another power of mine that I got at the very beginning.
You got like an extra net
I got
or
an extra net at the very beginning,
which is helpful. That might be why you jumped to a start on the eggs.
Yeah, but that was only a one-time thing.
Yes. Yeah.
So I had an extra net at the beginning because you start with a net,
right.
And then I think April was trying to cash in on the power cards because there are cards that give you power tokens, and I thought at the beginning they talked about the power tokens are worth money at the end of the game, but it's a certain card. I seen it. I didn't have it though, but I seen it, and I thought April had it, that it would score points if you had power tokens on it.
Oh, I don't know.
Or maybe I had it and I ended up with no power tokens on it, or I forgot to score it. But the power tokens, you would spend it on any cards that had a power on it. You could spend the power token to activate that card. I had a little combo going though. Every time I would recharge, I got an extra point for every card that recharged. And then I had another card that something about I could get 2 extra points if certain cards had this on it.
Oh, okay.
But I couldn't get any recharges at the very beginning. I had 3 recharge cards, but only one was a true recharge card.
I only had 1.
So I was only getting a few points of that, but then at the end I had more, so it was going up. But I had a little bit of an engine going right out of the gate. And I think that's one of the things that got me going, because every time I recharge, I got a lot, like double the points that you guys were getting when you'd recharge.
Yeah, I was not. I think I had 1 recharge card, and it didn't do me any good at all. Because like I got so many points for trophies or something like that. But I ended up I was getting my cards because of situational cards. Every time you take a trophy, draw a card. Every time you draw a card, gain a point. So I had a couple that comboed like that. So it was kind of nice. So every time I gained a trophy, I drew a card, I got a point, and did all this different stuff. I don't think I ever actually, maybe once, used a resource to buy a card. Used a resource action for cards. I didn't do it very
I don't think I did either.
So
I think I just used wherever I landed.
Everywhere.
Because when you go out, you land in an area, and then you can take the resource of the tiles that are out there, or you take a card.
Right, and I'm saying I never did that.
Right.
I took resources all the time.
You took resources all the time?
My cards, I got a couple of cards out there that gave me cards if I did something. So every time I did something, take a card.
That was a nice little engine.
Take a card. So every time I did something, that was how I was getting my cards. And then I had another one that said, every time you take a card, gain a point. Okay. So every time I did this, and I don't remember what this was, I'd gain a card and a victory point.
Well, I had a really good card. If I'm remembering right, I had a card that if you put your worker in a forested area, you got double the resources.
Oh, wow.
And of course, my person could go to the forest and land on the forest without having to pay any resources.
That's a good combo.
So I was like, oh, this is awesome.
It was I love the combo the combo possibilities with
Yes,
this
I
game.
think
It
this
was neat.
this game has a lot of replayability because of basically the different ways you can build your engines. And
Well, and never mind the fact that the board's going to change every time because as you're putting out those hex tiles,
the resources will change.
the resources placements are going to change.
Mm-hmm.
The basics are always going to be the same, but the board builds out and changes with every game.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I liked it.
So this is definitely one that I would recommend.
Yeah.
And
I would
we're
definitely
going to really
play.
look for this one.
It is a, I don't want to say it's heavy, but it is a little complex.
Yes, it is complex and trying to get those combos in your engine to be able to do different stuff.
That engine building of it can be a little complex.
Mm-hmm.
So, what did they say the weight was on this one? 3.1. Okay, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
BGG says a 3.01 out of 5. And like I said, I
see
don't know
that.
if I agree with the 40 to 80 minutes. Said they started playing that. They probably played for at least 2 hours, and they were still playing when I left last night.
Well, like I said at the beginning, it has the possibility of a lot of AP because you're trying to going, okay, so if I do that, this could activate this card, but if I go there, those are the resources I kind of need though, or I could get those cards out there that I'd really want to get because if I get those cards, these cards will activate and give me this.
And
so
it's
you
hard
had to go through
think ahead.
Yeah, because
somebody else could take the card you want or the spot you wanted.
Yes.
Or
so you've got to
hard to think ahead.
Yeah, so in your downtime of the game, which I don't feel there's a lot of downtime because you're plotting your next turn and watching what everybody's doing.
And then replotting when somebody takes your spot.
And you're trying to plot 2 or 3 different
avenues,
Yeah, different ways you could go if this person, and use like this game, there's 3 people ahead of me. So I got to have like 3 or 4 different options of what can I do if this scenario happens and that. And usually by the time it got back to me, you guys had taken every spot that I'd want.
Of course.
It did happen every time, but it did happen a bunch.
Okay.
But yeah, I would definitely, if you haven't never played this game, look for it, get it, play it.
At
if
least
you have
play
a chance.
it. Yeah, give it a chance if this is if you like engine builders.
Especially if you like engine builders. This is a lot. This is really cool.
Yeah.
So that's Wondrous Creatures, our first look at it. And that will bring us to the end of episode 92. If you like this episode or any of our content and haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do so by going to iTunes, Apple's Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts and give us a rating and a comment. This is how others can find the show. But in the meantime, if you want to follow us on social media just to keep up and see what we're doing, just follow the links in the show notes. There you'll find links to Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, Discord, Blue Sky, and our merch shop. Or you can contact us directly at meeplesociety@mail.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the next one.